Hi guys, the Laguna. Some additional thoughts, in regards to the game today. Firstly, let's start with Wenger. Wenger, your harshest critic. Of course, this today changes nothing. You've still got a lot of questions to ask, and it is ridiculous however how our season's been. But on the basis that it was shaky with the three at the back end on Monday, today obviously it's an FA Cup and not knockout competition against a big club. You could be forgiven for switching to four, something familiar at four at the back, but you stayed with the three at the back. And if it went how it went in the first 10, you would have had a lot of critics and a lot of questions, me included, to answer for. But you stuck with it, and we came out where we came out. Now there's still a lot to go in regards to that formation. I'll allude to it later. But yeah, next let's get on to three at the back. Now, who is actually going to play at three at the back? Obviously, we bought Mustafi for big money. You'd imagine him and Koscielny are certainties. The third would be Holding to me, or Bellerin, if Bellerin could model Dave Aspilicueta, like I've made a video about. He could play there. But yeah, on the basis that wherever you look at it, two games used the same formation, 2 victories. You'd imagine everybody keeps their space, so it's Holding and Gab. Now Gab has polarized opinion. The first half and second half, even today, shows it. First half was appalling, constantly dragged out wide. Granted, he was trying to help Oxley, yes, but positionally was poor. Looked like a duck out of water, typical Gab stuff, and looked rattled. Second half looked composed, was composed on the ball, sniffed out danger, numerous tackles, numerous convincing headers. Because he hasn't looked convincing in the air of late. Benteke comes to mind, and when we played Liverpool, but he put in a shift today. Now I am losing faith in Gabriel. Of course, I rated him when he came. I did like how he was a bit rugged and fresh in his approach, and a bit firm in the tackle. But the progress hasn't been as quick or as evident. And when you've got someone like Holding, who you might as well say they're at the same level in terms of that they both have a claim to be the third choice centre back if the first choices get injured. Holding is younger, he looks more promising. You back him more to improve than Gabriel, who it looks like it can't be a dramatic improvement. Obviously, I hope to be wrong. But yeah, so who do we play? In regards to that, again, Bellerin. If we played Bellerin today on the left-hand side, on centre-half, on the left-hand side at centre-half, Ox could have been moved in the middle, and you could somehow get Theo in or players like that. Obviously, we've got to look at that in regards to who are we going to field as our personnel and stuff like that. Also, at times, whatever way you look at it, we were guilty of slipping into a back 4, back 5, even a back 6, like in the first 10 minutes. So I don't think we know how to. We're not fully familiar with the formation. And on top of that, it's a big thing if we're playing two wingers or 2 fullbacks. If it's 2 wingers, it's going to be 3 at the back. If it's 2 fullbacks, it's 5 at the back. So in that regards, people need to become more familiar with the system and get an appreciation of what the other players' jobs are. Like you saw today when we were actually in extra time and we were winning. Everyone was going the extra mile for each other. Everybody was closing down space, whether it was their space or not just typically holding a line like Arsenal typically do. They are the things we need to do more. Obviously, if we're playing with a back 3, assuming the two wingers are fielding the fullback positions, we're going to need our midfielders to drop and make one of our midfielders, whether it be Xhaka or Ramsey, like today, drop and make a theoretical 3, like how you see Busquets at Barcelona. Or if we're going to play with 5 at the back, then obviously 5 at the back being two fullbacks in the fullback positions, then obviously we've got to set up our approach differently. So there's a lot of question marks in regards to that. There's also a lot of options. I mean, it probably won't happen this year, and I wouldn't want it to happen, but on the basis that Wenger likes to do nonsense, you couldn't rule out Monreal playing centre-half. You actually could not rule out Monreal playing centre-half. You couldn't rule out a lot of stuff. I mean, it is a formation that I don't like 3 at the back, but I am finding myself being sold on people if we can get it right. Oxlade-Chamberlain today gave me a lot of promise in regards to this formation. But when the wingers, when it's natural wingers playing in their formations, you need to follow your men. There was times when Oxy's my man of the match, but he was guilty of not following his man. There's also the main incidences as well is we can't. Our centre backs have to be, when we play this formation, especially when we're playing with actual midfielders in the wide positions. They have to want the ball and they have to show a willingness to receive the ball off the goalie, because we can't keep playing it long like you saw in incidences today. We're just inviting pressure on ourselves. 3 at the back, they all have to want to play football. Holding wants to do that, so he gets it for me. Gabriel can play, but it looks too basic, too slow. He looks unsure of himself. There's a lot of questions to be asked. I mean, yeah, I mean it's nothing for us to answer. I mean it's for Wenger to do. It does make it exciting. There's a lot